I thought the news would be bigger.
I told you it's not that important, but just acting like I know what's going on in pop culture.
Hi, I'm Teresa.
And I'm Emily.
This is No Ordinary Friendship.
We've been best friends for forever. And while life has tried to keep us apart,
we won't let it. Join us as we catch up on pop culture, parenthood, and whatever's on our minds.
We promise a short break from real life, just for a little bit.
We all have our people.
And now you are one of them.
Hi, Emily.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for driving up to San Francisco again.
Oh, no problem. Gives me a chance to listen to Giggly Squad.
We have to reference them once in a podcast.
And we're recording today, and it's the air has been smoky the past couple of days because of those wildfires up north. So our kids are not getting to go outside.
So they're moodier.
And not going to sleep.
We don't like that.
So we have caffeine today.
Lots of caffeine. Thank you, Emily. So, do you have any breaking news to share with me?
It's not really breaking, I guess, but I just wanted to share some of like my Buy Nothing group. It's not really a gripe, actually, but this woman posted one of my Okay, I do have a gripe. Let it out. One of my gripes is when people post something and then they just disappear. So all these people like comment. So one of the examples I have is this woman posted that she had this matcha powder, like matcha latte powder. And I swear maybe 20 people, including myself, said they were interested. And then for weeks, she just didn't respond or pick anyone. And then finally she was like, sorry for the delay, like updating now, I have 6 bags to give away. And then I responded, I was like, oh, I can't pick up until Monday because I don't do pickups on the weekends with the kids at home. And she was like, okay, let's touch base Monday if I have any left. So Sunday night, I was like, hey, I can still pick up tomorrow if you have any left. Silence. So at this point, I don't want it. Like, don't give me your matcha. And then
you keep your free matcha.
It is not worth my time and energy. And then the other one is this woman said she was testing baking her friend's wedding cake, which is just fun,
Yeah.
And I love cake.
Yes.
So I commented. Again, so many people commented for free cake. And I think she didn't respond, or maybe she just messaged people directly, but she didn't update her post.
This is a different person,
A different
right?
person. Okay. And she didn't update her post for like over a week. So at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever.
I don't want cake anymore.
I don't want cake. But then she messages me, and she was like, hey, do you want cake? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. So this one I did pick up. And it was a pretty decent cake. But I'm like, you gave me such a small slice of cake.
Really?
It was like this big, like this thin. And I'm like, if you're going to give me cake, like...
Emily just made a little hand movement that was like...
It was like a little square the
size of her palm, maybe.
It's probably like 4 inches.
A size of a small toast.
Yes, a toast. But anyway, I'm grateful because I do love cake. And it was like a lemon elderberry flavor.
Oh,
so
that sounds fancy.
Generally good, but I was just surprised at the size of it, given all the effort that
was she close by?
She wasn't too far, and I could pick it up on the way after dropping off the girls.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be ungrateful, like it was free cake, but it just felt weird. Like if I was giving it away, I would give out a little bit more.
Right, like a quarter of the cake.
And I thought you're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That is a gripe. That's a good gripe.
That's my breaking news.
I get annoyed too when I know you don't have to say thank you, but I get annoyed when people don't say thank you.
Me too. I'm like, next time I'm not giving it to you. I always say thank you, and I also try to, because I think originally with Buy Nothing groups, maybe pre-COVID, it was more personal. Like I'm guessing you maybe like met people, which of course the introvert in me doesn't want. I like this, but I'm like, I will say like, oh, my girls will be so excited to use this, or thank you. Like I wrote back to the cake lady and I was like, thanks, it was so delicious. Yeah. I like the flavor, just to be a little more personal.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
Just polite.
Agreed. I think because everything is porch pickup now too. Like you don't actually, well, it's not really porch pickup in SF or else everything gets stolen here. But like, so I have to coordinate pretty closely with people. And actually, I feel like SF is not as good unless it's very neighborhood specific because SF is so large and it takes so long to get to certain neighborhoods. Yeah. So the Buy Nothing SF is actually like all over the place, a million people.
I'm surprised they don't segment it into small
There are segments too, but it almost feels like certain neighborhoods are not as active or like you're giving away
if you have a
stuff.
dud neighborhood.
Yeah, if you have a dud neighborhood, it's just not as exciting. Yeah. So
the best Buy Nothing group, sorry to interrupt, was definitely the Playa Vista Buy Nothing group.
This is not an LA podcast, Emily. No one's moving to LA.
Stuff. Very friendly people, like very responsive. I don't know. I just loved that Buy Nothing group.
Emily used to be an LA resident. She told me she was only going to move there for a year. She ended up staying there for 5 years.
You can blame Victor for that because I got a new job and
I do blame him.
He goes, oh, if we wanted, we could probably move back now. And it was literally the day after I started my new job. I was like, great timing. He planned it. Now that thinking back, he did it strategically.
He's very conniving. It's something that I didn't think about Victor, but now I think he's very manipulative. Hi, Victor.
But I do love Playa Vista. My goal is to convince all of my good friends to move there. I don't know why it is such a hard sell. You all love it when you visit.
It's true. I do love it. I don't know why it's such a hard sell. It's probably because we all grew up in the Bay Area. And so
you need to just like step away for just like 3 months. Then you'll want it.
So you want all of us to move to Playa Vista for 3 months?
And then you won't want to come back. I promise.
Yeah, we'll just all join the Buy Nothing group there.
Yes.
Okay, Emily, can you tell me about Jury Duty? Show that you've been watching.
So Jury Duty is a show that I watched on Amazon Prime, although I had to watch it with ads, which was new to me.
Wait, why did
It was only free with ads. It was like some partner thing or something.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
where else can you watch it?
I don't know.
Do you Sorry, this is so off topic, but what? I never go on Prime to watch shows.
Me neither. I had to look up where is Jury Duty, and then I went on Prime.
How did you hear of the show?
I don't remember. It maybe was on Instagram or...
Okay, so someone recommended it.
Yeah, someone or something recommended it. But it's basically a show where the premise... Did I tell you the premise yet?
Where... Is it like the Truman Show where someone is
it's kind of like the Truman Show. So they... say that everybody's doing jury duty and they're doing a documentary about it, but everybody is an actor except for one guy. So they like put out, at the end of the show, they kind of give you some more background. So they put out like an application thing for people to join a jury duty documentary. And like thousands of people applied and they picked one person. So he's kind of like the main character.
Okay.
And then he just thinks he's going to do jury duty and be part of a documentary. But everybody else is an actor.
Who is applying? That's such a weird show.
It's in SoCal, so maybe it's more like people trying to be discovered. You know, they're like, oh, I'm going to be on it. But he's like a really nice, lovable guy. And I ended up really liking it. Like, I was kind of sad when it ended. And I'm surprised at myself because I just watched it because I like to have a show to watch.
So does it go through a whole trial?
Yeah. So there's
selection process and like
It
lawyers.
goes through all of it. And like the other characters are like so like eccentric and weird. Like you would think, how can he believe this is real? But he's just like a nice, genuine guy, and also, they kind of do.
People are crazy, so
there's
like believe it.
Crazy characters, and there's all these times where he goes, "I can't believe this is happening. This should be a reality show," but he doesn't like doubt it. And then the little like kicker is that James Marsden is in it. And, like, that doesn't seem that believable, but James Marsden plays, like, kind of like an asshole version of himself.
Oh, so James Marsden is not even himself.
Well, he is himself, but he's also in character. Like, he's playing a certain thing.
Okay.
And, I don't want to spoil it for people who may want to watch it.
Okay.
But watch it,
So
guys.
you recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it. And then at the end, like, they kind of, like, show him discovering, like, they reveal to him. And it's just, like, you don't know how... I thought he might be mad, but he's just like, what? Like, in disbelief, you know?
But how many days or weeks
it's like,
did the show go on? Or did this
I think it was,
trial
like,
go on?
2 or 3 weeks, actually. And,
That's
okay,
crazy.
one little spoiler I'll tell you is the way they make it work is... they say that they have to sequester the jury. Okay. So basically what that means is you can't go home. Like, you have to live in a hotel, like, all together. They take away your phones. And then, so I think that's how they kind of, like, kept it enclosed, you know? Like, he's in a closed environment with they can control who he sees and stuff like that, you know?
This is such a weird concept. I have
so weird.
many
but
questions.
I thought it was so original, you know? I
It's
know
true.
it's kind of Truman Showish, but they also at the end were like, we didn't want to like really make fun of him or do something to make him look bad.
Yeah.
We were actually, it was the opposite. Like they were trying to show like
the human
goodness of, yeah. So
they
I
just
liked
found a
it.
good person. What does he do normally?
I don't know. But now he's on Instagram, has like hundreds of thousands of followers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Watch it. I hope you like it. I hope I didn't give away too much.
I don't think so. I'm very confused though. Like,
just watch it. Give it a try. They're short. It's only like 30-minute episodes, and I think there's like 6 or something.
are they gonna have another season, or is it?
I don't think so. Yeah, probably. But yeah, very unique.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the pro tip. I've been looking for a new show.
Yeah.
Although I have to watch it with ads.
It's okay. During the ads, then you scroll your phone.
Got it. I'll text you. Tell me about Hugh Jackman, because I've been waiting to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, you didn't look it up?
No, so I was actually listening to a podcast this morning, and they referenced Hugh Jackman. I was like, oh my God, I gotta turn it off.
Well, it's actually kind of sad, but basically following the Jonas and Sophie Turner news, Hugh Jackman is splitting up from his wife.
Okay.
And they've been together for like 27 years.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't really say, and just when I heard the news, I was like, man, that sucks. Like, you would think if you make it past a certain point, you're kind of like safe. But it seems like
who's his
you're
wife?
never safe. I don't know. She's not famous. She's not an actress, or I don't think she's in the industry.
Did someone cheat on someone?
Maybe, I don't know. But it just feels like, and when I was talking about it with Victor, he was like, well, you know, with celebrities, they're probably getting kind of offers every day. Like, it takes a really strong person to stay loyal. And I hope that's not the case. But what if they just drifted apart or realized, like, after 27 years...
Do they have kids?
I don't know. I'm the worst news broadcaster. I mean, if they have kids, I imagine they're pretty old.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think they really talk about the kids in this case versus like the Jonas.
That is sad to hear. And it's kind of surprising.
Because
without knowing anything about him or his family.
Yeah, just being married, I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to make it work forever, you know? But I'm like, I would assume if I made it to 20 years, it's like, okay, we're in this, we're good. And it's like, if you hit 27, you're like, all of a sudden... oh, I want a divorce. I'm like, what?
Or maybe,
we're in the safe zone.
Or maybe they wanted a divorce since year 20
True.
And then they've been trying to work it
longer,
out.
Yeah.
And finally they're like, oh, the kids are old now. Maybe. I really am sick of you. Let's just take our money and separate ways.
Yeah. Like when I was in a relationship for, I forget, 5-6 years, it was just sad to be like, oh, it failed, you know?
That's true. But actually see the positive. It's like, oh, there's more time to... engage in something new or explore something new.
You're right. It's not necessarily sad. Okay. Maybe they're both happier.
I thought the news would be bigger.
I told you it's not that important, but just acting like I know what's going on.
Good to know.
In
Good
pop
to know.
Culture.
Well, it's okay. Let me tell you about my pop culture thing that has already been mentioned on Giggly Squad, but apparently you glossed over it, so I'll just tell you again. So you probably glossed over it because you don't watch Real Housewives, but there's this woman named Jen Shaw on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And she is in jail.
Oh.
She was literally almost like hunted down by the Department of Homeland Security while they were filming. This was like a year or two ago now, and then there was a whole trial, and it's just wild that they were able to catch it on camera because they were all going on this girls trip, and then all of a sudden, like, people like in FBI type of suits come like searching around. Like, she got a call, she got tipped off, she left, and everyone's like, is this a joke?
Oh.
But anyways, she's in jail now for fraud, and she's apparently in the same white-collar jail as Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh.
And
wait, fraud for what? Like business stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like tax evasion.
Oh.
Actually, don't quote me on that. But it's something like
See,
that.
I don't know the details either.
It's because there's so many Bravo people that have gone to jail recently
Yeah, actually,
for tax evasion.
I do remember was it New Jersey?
Yes.
The Teresa.
Yeah, both her and her husband went to jail like at different times.
That's the only one I know.
And I think he had to leave the country for forever. So he's in Italy.
What?
But they got a divorce and she's remarried now.
Oh, wow.
So much has happened.
Yeah. So much has happened since, when did I watch it?
And I think she's probably going to divorce this new guy too.
Oh, no. Divorce.
It's okay.
It's everywhere.
It's the wrong fit.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, she's really rich from the show, so it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so people are like, what are those two conniving bitches doing? And they're together. There's no good that can come out of like
they're
two...
friends now.
Yeah,
they're gonna
friends
have a podcast.
And I think they're probably just going to get more and more famous and get more and more deals, even though they did this horrible thing.
I know.
Especially Elizabeth Holmes.
I know.
Actually,
I feel like, has she even paid a price?
No.
She just, like you said, she got famous. Like, yeah, she's in jail, but it's white-collar jail. Yeah. She even, like, got to marry someone. Like, someone married her. Yeah. Someone doesn't care what she did.
And had a baby with her.
Yeah.
So, and she gets sympathy points for being a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just pretty privileged.
Our justice hats are coming out.
Yeah. You remember, did we ever watch that Chrisley show?
Is that the blonde guy?
Yeah, I can't remember his actual name.
I've seen snippets, but I don't know, like, anything about them. Why are they famous?
Yeah.
And he's weird looking. Plastic surgery, maybe?
Yeah, and it feels like he's gay, but he's married with a bunch of kids from the South. He's in jail for tax evasion, too. Yeah. But apparently...
I guess the IRS is cracking down.
Good. They're probably like, how can these people spend so lavishly?
Donald Trump isn't.
I don't know where he's at.
We're a political podcast now.
We're just going to get more and more political as November comes around. But, like, not well informed.
No, not at all. But well-intentioned.
But that's what I wanted to tell you.
Oh, wow. Thank you for the update, because I did not know that.
You're so welcome. Tax evasion is the thing. And it's tax season. It's very relevant.
It is tax season. California got an extension till October.
Yes, I actually had to look up the exact date because we're a little behind.
We filed ours.
I know.
Taxes are no fun.
You motivated me to reach out to our tax person and be like, can we have a meeting about this to talk about our tax strategy in the future too?
We do that too, and then I feel like we get all these good pointers and then we forget to do what we talked about. Like a backdoor IRA or whatever. Like,
there's like backdoor Roth.
We do that. Yeah, and we haven't done it.
Yeah, like I don't know what a backdoor mega Roth is.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But that was like a big thing at my last company that people wanted to maximize, and it got confusing.
It's like a super burrito.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sounding really smart right now, Emily.
But it was very motivating. We'll do that. Baby steps.
Okay, let's keep each other accountable for our tax strategy follow-through.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Parenthood.
Oh, okay. This is not that lighthearted, but I'll try to talk in a happy voice when I talk about it. I screenshotted it, so sorry, listeners, you can't see it. But Eva Chen, who I follow on Instagram, she's one of the OGs that I've followed for a long time, and she's actually like head of fashion at Instagram.
Okay. And
she's a mom of 3 kids. She has a really big youngest kid, so it always reminds me of you, because Logan's big too. Like, she's always like, he's a 2-year-old, but he looks like a 4-year-old. But anyway, she does these like ask me a question, and someone asked, what stresses you out? And she said, literally feel like I've been in a fight or flight state since having kids. Always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Parents, health, caretaking, work, kids, apartment deadlines, etc., etc., etc. I realize this is not good for the body. Haha, sigh. And
it sounds like she's also trying to smile through the pain.
Yes. But unfortunately, I feel like that's true for me too.
Yeah.
Like, just ever since becoming a parent, it's not like I'm unhappy all the time, but I'm constantly on edge. Yeah. And that waiting for the other shoe to drop thing is so true for me, where I'm really trying to figure out if there's a solution. Will I grow out of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just a reality of parenthood that nobody prepares you for.
I think so too. So I feel like you'll never stop worrying.
Yeah, any listeners who are not parents and thinking about it, I'm not saying don't be a parent, because obviously they're really fun times and it's such a special experience, but there's a lot that comes with it that I don't think anyone talks about, especially our parents' generation. I don't know if they just didn't feel it or they like suppressed it, but just I kind of wish I had known going into it.
But what would you have changed if you knew that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe making like an intentional effort to say, I'm not going to worry about this as much.
Yeah, or just, I think it's always just helpful to know what you're getting yourself into, right? Like, did you sign up for it? If you signed up for it, then you're like, okay, well, I chose this knowing all the facts, you know, versus being kind of blindsided.
I think about that a lot too, and I really just try to like suppress it.
I don't know which one of us is healthier, because I have the crippling anxiety and you're just bubbling it down.
And I actually think what you said, I actually do feel like I'm unhappy a lot as well when it comes to, or I think about, pictures come up in my phone, right? From like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, what a good time. It was just me. I worried about myself. I like knew where all my taxes were going. I knew where all my money was going.
Yeah.
I knew where I was living. Like, I could just make a decision on a whim and I could take care of myself.
Yeah.
And now it's like so many different bodies and people to think about, to consider, to optimize for, to make sure they're happy. And it's really draining.
It's draining, and for the most part, not to generalize, but it's the mom's burden.
It is.
Like, the dads love the kids. They are not thinking about their kids half as much as we are.
Do you think single dads do, though?
Probably because they have to. And obviously, gay, single, sex partners, somebody probably plays the role. At least one of them, right?
Yeah.
But for us, I don't know if it's society, if it's biological programming, but it really is, it's so tough. And
it is.
And I all just deal with it, And
I wonder if the dads took it on, if I would just totally step back as well.
Do we take it on because we feel like someone has to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I've thought about that too.
I think so.
It makes me feel a little better. Not that I want you to be going through the same thing, but that I'm not the only one.
You're definitely not the only one. I really just try to suppress it. Because it's true. Like, there's no good that comes out of it.
Right.
Like,
there's nothing you can do about it, right?
As long as the kids are happy and healthy, the other shoe can drop, we'll deal with it.
Right. And most of the time when, like, I'm always so anxious when Cassie gets sick, but she's fine. She bounces back.
She does.
I try to remind myself, like, we're lucky it's just a cold, or we're lucky it's not something more serious that other parents are dealing with. Like, I can't even imagine something like cancer or, even like a broken leg. I've seen that. And I know I just have to, like, roll with it, but I can't help it.
My parents' neighbor, they have 2 young kids, and the last time I saw them, they were, like, on their way to moving to New York, or they were, like, jet setting all summer. They were going to different countries in Asia, and then they were coming back here for, like, a week, and then packing up all their stuff and moving to New York City.
Oh my gosh.
To start school, and she was starting school, like, the very next day. But anyways, when I saw her, she's like 5 years old, their daughter, she had a broken arm. And the mom told me that she broke it the day, like, right before they were going to fly back to the U.S. So they had to spend the entire last day going to like a hospital in Asia. And, she just dealt with it. I feel like you just have to deal. Yeah,
you do just have to deal. And the other thing I try to remind myself is, like, when I was a kid, nothing seemed that bad. Like, part of me, I think, is like I'm trying to shield my kids from pain or suffering. And it's like, when I got sick as a kid, I was never like, oh my God, this is the end of the world.
True.
It's just like, okay, I'm sick.
Maybe it's like a sign of the times, like parenting in this generation too, because I think about the things that I worry about now, and a part of me feels for my mom too. I'm like, oh, did she feel all of these things that I'm feeling now?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But maybe not as much because social media wasn't a thing.
Right.
And
not as much comparison.
Not
pressure,
as many resources either, telling you all the terrible things that could happen too. So it was like I would talk to a friend and then be like, I don't know. Be like, I don't know. Oh, she's fine now.
Yeah.
Instead of everything that we have to go through now.
And I also, the other thing, okay, we can wrap this topic up. Sorry, it was not lighthearted at all. But I want my kids to see me as someone, like, more joyful. So that's another motivator for me to not be stuck in all this anxiety and, like,
that's so interesting, Emily, because you to me are a very joyful person.
I used to be. That's what makes me more
20s
mad.
20s Emily, that was my roommate, was very joyful.
20s kid Emily, so joyful, not a care in the world. I mean, of course I worried about stuff. Yeah. But it wasn't who I am now, and I don't like who I am now. Like, I want to be back to who I was.
Were you like this when you were working with a kid? Working a full-time corporate?
I had a lot of anxiety too, but I think I had to split my anxiety between kid and work. Right. And I don't know if it was better. I definitely still worried about everything going around with Charlie. And I think it's just gotten worse with 2 kids, which is also why I can't have any more kids.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. It's for other people.
Not for you, for me.
But other people, it works great. I think it's so joyful to have children, and I actually enjoy that process of like newborn, seeing them grow, but just adding more head count to my anxiety list is a no-no.
Yeah. You know, my younger brother was in town for his birthday. He's like 35. But when he didn't come home until 11:30 p.m. one night, I was like worried. I was
Where
like,
are you?
Is he? And I'm like, why am I wasn't even trying to wake up for him, but or stay awake for him, but I couldn't even fall asleep knowing that he was out there. My mom thought he didn't come home until 3 in the morning, which is not true. Like, she just didn't hear him. My bedroom is right next to the garage. But she was like, I got so worried. I walked over there and I was like, oh, the car's home. So I feel like you never stop worrying as a mom.
Yeah, a
mother's burden.
Thank you to our moms for all you've done.
Yes. What's up, Saratoga? To my mom. Well, that took a turn, Emily. Thank you for taking us down that dark path.
Not intentional.
Kind of a segue from not wanting any more kids. I have not been sleeping well. One, Logan's having nightmares or something. Two, mainly two, the mosquitoes. I don't know why we have mosquitoes in San Francisco right now. I don't know why they're in my second floor bedroom, but 3 out of 4 days last week, I was woken up by like extreme itchiness.
No.
I hate them so much. I feel like every single time this happens, I have to wake up, I have to kill them. They don't bite anyone else in my family. So it's like
what blood type are you?
I am blood type O.
Oh, so you are the favored. Yes.
I am sweet. I am very...
You're also the universal donor. Good to know.
I'm there for you. But I need to get my iron count up.
Oh, okay.
Did we do blood drive in high school together?
Yes. And my iron typically was like borderline, or I could do it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of you couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't do it because I was anemic. Anyways, that's totally off topic. But the mosquitoes in my house, I go down a rabbit hole and I learned all these different natural ways. And I was like, fuck the natural ways. Like, give me the hard, like, chemical stuff that could kill them. And then I was like, oh no, I have kids. Maybe I shouldn't go down that route. And then I started blaming my toddler because I read that they could breed in any type of standing water in the tub.
Oh.
And we use our tub, obviously, a lot. And
yeah,
then
we do too.
Tyler, like, has all these little toys and he doesn't always dump the water out. I'm like, Tyler, the mosquitoes are here. But I've been successful in finding them and killing them every single night. I cannot go to bed. Thank you.
So we had a leak under our house for a little bit and we didn't know that, but then the pest people came, because I told you we live by a creek.
Oh, yeah.
And then regularly there's like San Mateo pest control that comes and actually like looks at standing water, dumps it out for us in the backyard.
That's nice.
Yeah, so nice. It almost feels like fancy.
Taxpayer money going to good stuff.
One time she came and she's like, you have a lot of drain flies. You know, they're like the little, they look gross. Victor calls them urinal flies.
Wait, are they kind of like fruit flies?
Kind of, but bigger. And like blacker. Oh. And their wings are kind of like heart-shaped. Oh. I think you would know if you saw them.
Okay.
But she was like,
I probably have them in my house.
Drain flies. I think you might have a leak. So she looked and she's like, yeah, it looks like there's a leak. And then she came back and like fogged it for mosquitoes and the flies, I think. But before she did that, we started noticing we had mosquitoes in the house. And every night, Victor would take a flashlight with the lights off, and we would search like the ceilings to find mosquitoes in all of our rooms before like the girls went to bed and before we went to bed.
Wait, what month was this?
I don't remember.
What a good man.
Maybe like 4 or 5 months ago at this point. But yes, you could try to do that before you go to sleep. Although you have higher ceilings, you probably can't reach your ceiling. If you see one, just throw a towel at it.
I'd be so pissed if I could see one and couldn't kill it.
Yeah.
But I don't think people talk about enough how grateful we should be in California and like Hawaii, let's say, because we don't get that many mosquitoes. It's not like the South or Florida where
you're right.
There's just a bunch of mosquitoes all the time, or Mexico
or Taiwan.
Too. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so I'm grateful. It's not an everyday occurrence.
Yes.
But F you, mosquitoes.
F you.
Things we want to sell around the house but never get to it.
Well, I did just sell my baby carrier.
Oh, yes,
so
good for you.
That was a big one. That took a long time. It took probably a month. I don't have much else. I know you have. You told me.
Everything that you're looking at in this basement, I kind of want to sell. There's like a paper shredder. There's like that robot vacuum thing. The Peloton. I mean, part of it is I can't get to it because no one wants it. And another part of it is like...
you just need to lower the price.
Well, I also have to like take pictures of it and like post it. And it's kind of like the buy nothing groups where some people respond, some people don't.
Yes, I hate the flakes.
But I also don't want to I could just give it away, actually. Maybe I'll just do some of that.
Yeah, that's what I do. Some things where I'm like, is it worth my time to sell it? I just put on buy nothing, and then nobody wants it.
It's a lot of coordination, too. Wait, there was another thing I wanted to sell. Nope, that's it.
I think I have just so many miscellaneous toys that don't go together, so I have to just give those away.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine someone wanting to buy like a collection of random. And I don't know how other people have toys that are like in really good condition.
I don't know
because my
either.
kids, like, they go hard with their toys. And we have a dog too, so sometimes there's like bite marks or missing things I had to throw away.
I was looking at Logan playing with the toy this morning. I was like, God, that's good. Like, that's good quality toy. Because, like, Tyler banged it up, too. And Logan's, like, eating the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, toy companies. Okay, I have something I wanted to share with you.
Yes, I've been waiting for this one.
With the elder...
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote Elder Millennial Portrayal by Gen Z. So I was watching this TikTok, and there's so many of them, because I watched that one, I think, of Gen Z making fun of millennials, especially elder millennials. And the one that really resonated with me was how we pose for pictures. And so it was this couple.
Oh,
and
is it this? The arm?
It's the arm pose, but also like
girl arm.
Being very stiff and posing and trying not to move. And then like taking a couple and then that's it. Which I thought was like really funny and awkward. And then when they did the Gen Z version, it was where they're just like kind of casually doing a candid pose or trying to, and then they give it to somebody, they're like, just take 100 of these. And then they also like it when it's a little bit blurry versus like we're trying to curate it. But I was thinking, like, what do we do to make fun of the generation above us? Like, I don't really think we called out anything that is unique to that generation, to like boomers or to Gen X.
It's because we didn't really think about them. So maybe really millennials are still important because Gen Z is thinking about it.
It's true. They have our fashion sense.
They're just adopting our teenage,
Okay, should I go to the next topic?
Yeah. What is comedian flyer?
I was walking in Japantown the other day, and this guy in front of me, it was pretty busy, it was a weekend, and this guy was a comedian apparently, and he was handing out flyers. He was inviting people to his show at the Boom Boom Room. And I was like, I love stand-up comedy. Like, I wanna go. And so, but he didn't hand me a flyer. He was handing it to everyone around me.
How rude.
And so he was talking to folks, and I told my husband, I was like, let's just stand here and wait and see if he gets to us. Like, just like wait around. Like, we didn't have any kids with us. And so I was like, we look like two people that could go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
He looked at us and then walked right by us. I was like,
rude.
I would have gone to your comedy show, sir. Even Steve, because we could overhear what he was saying.
You should have told him that.
Wednesday. It was Wednesday night. Steve was like, oh, I don't think I can go, but maybe you can go with like someone. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally would. And he never offered me a flyer.
His loss.
His loss. And I even tried to look him up later, and he probably wasn't very popular.
He probably isn't funny, so the universe was saving you a night of not laughing.
But I really wanted it. I was like, do I not look young or hip or cool enough for your flyer?
Maybe he's been rejected by a lot of people that look like you and Steven.
He was going up to everyone, Emily. But he looked straight at us and was like, moving on.
Rejection comes in so many forms.
I just didn't think I would care so much.
Should we save the rest for another time? I can't believe we kind of blew through our time.
Okay, we'll save it.
Okay. Honestly, not even that great. My last 2 points, so.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for the third week.
Yes, sorry we got a little deep, unintentional, but that is motherhood for you.
The high highs and the low lows.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.